Hold up, man. Hold up. Hold up. What's the deal? Let some of y'all fall through here real quick. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through here. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through here. Make sure you hit it now. Come on now. Come on. Hey. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? Make sure you hit that like button when y'all come through now. Come on, man. Come on, man. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through now. Come on now. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through here. Know what I'm saying? You already know what it is, baby. Yeah. Let me know y'all up in this thing. Let me know y'all up in this thing. We're gonna let some of y'all fall through here real quick. We're gonna get started. We're gonna get to breaking it down. We're gonna get to breaking it down. We're gonna get to breaking it down around town. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Honcho. I know he was live earlier. Hope you was over there tuning in to Soft Sports, you know what I'm saying? And it brought your way back over here. That's cool, that's cool. Big shout out to my boy Honcho and Soft Sports, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like when y'all come through here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about this Texans versus Jets game. Very important now. Very, very important. Especially now since Pittsburgh lost last night. The Texans have been thrust into the playoff conversation strongly now. As soon as I saw the Steelers lost, I sent my friend from Pittsburgh highlights. The game back with me. No, 7-6 now. 90% chance it rains. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. That's gonna be a factor. That's definitely we're gonna talk about that. That's definitely gonna be a factor. We're gonna talk about that. Let a couple more of y'all come through here. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through now. Make sure you hit the like button when you come through. Make sure you hitting it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like button when you come through. Make sure you hit that like button when you come through. Make sure you hitting it now. Make sure you hitting it. See what else y'all talking about. See what else y'all talking about. Yeah, that weather gonna be a doozy. That weather gonna be a doozy. That weather gonna be a doozy. So, all right. So the Houston Texans are going into the New York Jets. New York Jets are going to be starting. I think Zach Wilson. If I'm not mistaken, last time I checked, the Texans were a 5.5 favorite. Well, 5.5. 5.5 favorite. 5.5 favorite of the game. That mostly has to do with who they're playing at quarterback. It being Zach Wilson. That's mostly what that has to do with. Right now, I mean, the Texans offensively coming in as the sixth total offense, averaging 373 yards a game, while the Jets are 31st in offense, averaging only 260 yards a game. Texans are the second passing offense in the league, averaging 275 yards per game. They average more passing yards than the Jets' total yards are. The Jets are the 31st ranked passing offense, only averaging 169 yards a game. Run the football. The Texans are 24th. They run the football, averaging 97.9 yards a game. The Jets, not too far back, 29th in rushing, only averaging 9 yards a game. Texans are 10th in the NFL in scoring, averaging 23.4 points a game, while the Jets are 30th in the NFL, averaging only 14.3 points a game. Defensively, the Texans are the 19th total defense, averaging allowing 342.2 yards per game, while the Jets are the ninth ranked defense, only averaging 312.7 yards per game. Texans as a pass defense are 26th in pass defense, averaging 245 yards per game, while the Jets are the third ranked passing defense, averaging 176 yards passing games allowed. The run defense, the Texans are ninth in run defense, only allowing 97 yards rushing the game, while the Jets, they're 28th in run defense, averaging 136 yards per game. Texans and the Jets are right there with each other, 12th and 4th. The Texans are 12th. The Jets are 4th. The Texans are 12th. The Jets are 13th. I'm sorry. At points allowed a game, both averaging basically averaging 21 points. I mean, the Texans average 20.8. The Jets average 20.9. So it's right there. They both really averaging a little over 20 points, damn near 21 points a game. The thing is, Your strength and their strength are the two biggest things. Your passing offense is the second in the league. Their passing defense is third in the league. So it's really strength upon strength. And I think a huge factor of that was going to be on Sunday is going to be the weather. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's supposed to be like under 30%. I mean, like under 30 degrees. It's supposed to be raining. Very high winds, if I'm not mistaken. That causes for an ugly game. It causes for an ugly game, especially with this being your bread and butter, your bread and butter, the thing that you do the most, the thing you do the most well, exceptionally well in the NFL this season. That's throwing the football. One, you're gonna be missing Tank Dell, and also your strength is their strength. Their strength is pass defense. Like I said, they are the 30th. I mean, they're the third ranked pass defense. They're only allowing 62% from a quarterback throwing at them. And in the last 3 games, only averaging 29.5% throwing. Like the quarterbacks that they're playing against, they're only allowing them to pass for 59.5% in the last 3 games. Over the whole season, 62%. Like that's something that you definitely gotta make sure to be lookout for. I think this is a game that you would want to get, especially with them being what run defense I said they were. They were the 28th run defense, averaging 136 yards a game. You will definitely want to run the football. The problem with that is, who do you have running the football? That's the problem right now. As it stands right now, the problem is who you're going to give the football to, because we've seen Dameon Pierce just come back not look like Dameon Pierce. Now, if we want to come out there on Sunday and we want to run a power scheme, we don't want to do the zone run scheme. We want to run a power scheme and do things like that. Get behind the center and I formation and things like that, and just run the football at the gut. Hey, then we might have something. And the reason why Bobby Slowick doesn't want to normally do this is because he wants the runs and the pass to look the same. He wants all his plays and everything to look the same. Speaking of looking the same, I see more people to come in here, but the lights ain't going on, so I need the people and the lights to look the same. So make sure you hit that like button when you come through. It's very, very key and very, very vital. Once you hit that like button, very, very important, very, very key to the stream, to the channel if you hit that like button. So make sure you hit that like button, get the likes up. Like I say, the likes ain't matching the people. There's more people in here than likes. I need to be even. So I mean, make sure you hit that like button. Definitely appreciate that. Now, what I was saying was that he wants the passing plays and the running plays to look exactly the same. So for the passing plays and the running plays to look exactly the same, what he needs to do, he wants his running scheme and like to run our passing formations. And like I said, we've been over this numerous times. It doesn't fit him. So you think you need to aim a little bit towards Devin Singletary. Now I do think this is the type of weather game that you will want to use power when you want to use Dameon Pierce. I feel like you should use both of them in a heavy dosage. I think like since Dameon Pierce has come back, like we haven't given the ball to Singletary at all. Like I think he got like 5 carries one game, 6 carries another, something of that. Like something very, very small and minute. When the 2 games prior, he's getting over 20 carries and getting over 100 yards, like 150 yards one game, 112 yards the next. Offensive player of the week. How a guy go from being offensive player of the week, then the following week back and don't get another 100-yard game to not being existent and not even being utilizing the offense? That's weird to me. That's weird to me. Like I would think that they would utilize him a little bit more. I would think they would utilize him a little bit more. Even if you want to give the bulk of the carries to Dameon Pierce, I would feel like and think like that you would utilize them a little bit more, utilize Singletary a little bit more, and utilize them just a little bit more closely. And that's not what they're doing. So I feel like that's something like that matchup that they can't exploit, because I don't know if you can exploit the passing game. I don't know, because they're able to pass. And we're gonna talk about the 2 people who everybody, when we talk about the Texans and the Jets, especially for the last 2 years, the 2 names that come up, and you see what it is. You know what it is, just to make it a little bit more clear. You see what it is. You see what jersey is. You know what I'm saying? Defensive player of the week, Darius Stingley. Since he's come back off IR, like I've said numerous times, had in the last 4 games, has 3 straight games with interceptions. 4 interceptions total. 3 in the last 4, 3 last games straight. 4 total for the season right now. So Darius Stingley has 4 interceptions, 8 pass breakups. He's allowing 55% thrown in his direction. So 55% of the targets in his direction. The quarterback's throwing at 55% in his direction. He's only averaging 1.8 catches a game, and that's throughout all the games played this season. Only one catch, 1.8 catches a game this season. Quarterback rating thrown in his direction is 91.3. Now, the guy that was ticking right after him, Sauce Gardner, who was last year's Defensive Rookie of the Year and also first team All-Pro. Sauce Gardner is allowing quarterbacks throwing 66% in his direction. He's giving up a quarterback rating of 101.5 thrown in his direction, and he's allowing 2.8 catches a game, so almost 3 catches a game. Also, this season, this season, he has 0 interceptions, only 7 pass breakups. He led the league last year in pass breakup. That's why he was the first team All-Pro. He had 20 and led the whole NFL. This year he only had 7. Darius Stingley, who's missed 6, 7 games, more than that, because he only played he played the first 2 games, and he's played the last 4. So that's 6 games. We're 7 and 5. So he's missed. So he's only missed 6 games. So I'm thinking he missed more. I'm sitting thinking he might miss. He's missed 6 games. So yeah. So a guy who's missed 6 games already has more pass deflections. Not even the same. Because it wouldn't have been one thing. It'd still be bad if they had the same amount of pass deflections, or if he was just behind him by 1. He's missed 6 games and has more pass deflections than him. The percentages and stuff the percentages thrown in his direction. Yeah, because it's based off of throwing in his direction. It's not just based off of in the game or how many. Because if I go over who's allowed more catches, Sauce is going to allow more catches. Even if Sauce was playing at a very great season, Sauce will still allow more catches. Just the fact that he's played in 6 more games. So just the simple fact that he's played in 6 more games than this Stingley, he will allow him have. I wouldn't blame him for having more catches or more yards thrown towards him. But the percentages, that has nothing to do with games. That has to do with what you're doing on the field. That is exactly what that has to do with what's going on the field. And what's going on the field right now, Stingley is having a way better season, even though it's a small sample size, and I give you that. But he's having a way better season than Sauce Gardner is right now. Sauce Gardner's having a bad season, or at least not having the season that he's definitely having a sophomore slump, and people are definitely throwing because he's not making any plays now. And the thing that he was doing the most last year, getting past deflections and allowing quarterbacks to have bad. I think he was second or third, if not number 1, in passes thrown in his direction. I think he led the league not only pass deflections but also led the league in catches given up. I think he only gave up 1. He only allowed 1 catch per game, or less than 1 catch per game. His rookie year, and that's what gave him the great season that he had last year that put him at All-Pro caliber type of player. This season right now, he's not having that. He's not having that type of season, and he's not making any plays. And he's not making my beef with Petrie is that even though you missing tackles, at least last year you was turning the ball over. You were making plays. You were making some impactful plays. Sauce is not doing that. Sauce only had 2 interceptions last year. Stingley had 1 half the season. Come this year, has 4. And at the very least, 2 of them were plucked away. Yeah, you can say good, right place at the right time. The one that gets Trevor Lawrence, and the first one the one that was tipped by Willie Anderson, in last week's game. But the one he had on Kyler Murray, when he covered it and went underneath the receiver, was able to snatch the football, make sure the receiver wasn't able to take it. That's on Stingley. Then the one that he plucked out of the way when he was throwing towards Courtland Sutton, that was definitely Stingley recognizing what he was doing and making both Russell Wilson and Courtland Sutton believe that they were open and came in and plucked the smooth out the air. That's impactful plays, and that's why you draft Stingley. That's why you took Stingley over Sauce, because he can make those type of plays. That's something he had in his bag. Right there. He had that in his bag that he could make impactful plays. So that's what people were saying. That's what people were thinking. He had that in his bag. He could make some impactful plays, especially, and this kind of may be Darren Stingley's revenge tour, if you want to be honest, because everybody wanted to point to last year. His worst game was against the Broncos and Courtland Sutton. He come out there and have his best game of his career. 4 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, 0 catches allowed, 0 yards allowed, 0 quarterback rating allowed, thrown in his direction, impactful plays, just a very complete, solid game. Now, the other noise that was going on, the other noise that you hear and everything's going on, that Sauce was the best player in the draft last year, or the best DB in the draft last year, and y'all messed up. Y'all took Stingley. You didn't take Sauce. First team All-Pro, defensive rookie of the year, things like that. Stingley heard this because Stingley was on the shelf last year because the team wasn't good and the team wasn't going to risk further injury or damage his career. No, we playing checkers, not chess. I mean, chess, not checkers. We playing chess, not checkers. Okay, yeah, we go ahead. We gonna put you up for the season and things like that. So he was sitting back. He was patiently waiting. I'm patiently waiting for a track to explode on. That's what he was doing. He was sitting there patiently waiting. He was sitting there patiently waiting to get his opportunity. And I feel like that now when we're getting to the situation that now that we get into the situation that he's going to be out there with his revenge, out here on his revenge tour. And what do you say? Some of the Jets have the third pass defense in the NFL, bro. Sauce is a big part of that. Oh, no, I'm not out here saying that Sauce is trash. I'm not saying that Sauce is trash. But Sauce is not having the type of season he had last year. Let that be clear. And he's not doing the things that he was doing last year. He's not doing the things that he was doing last year. He's never been a huge interception getter. I don't remember how many interceptions he had when he was in Cincinnati, when he was in college. I know the big thing about him was that he didn't allow any touchdowns. He allowed no touchdowns his whole college career. So I don't know exactly what his interception ratio was back then when he was in college. But all I'm saying is he wasn't making any interceptions. But last year, bad quarterback rating thrown in his direction, bad not giving up completions, bad completion percentages thrown in his direction, and also he led the league in pass deflections. He was playing at a dominating clip. Now he's not playing at that clip, and also the referee's starting to realize that you're a little bit too handsy. You utilizing your hands a little bit too much. Let's pull that flag out. Now, this is the thing that will actually help out the Jets and hurt the Texans. The fact that we don't have Tank Dell. I don't think that it's a good matchup for Nico to be on Sauce. Honestly, I think it's a better matchup for Sauce than it is for Nico, because they're both big. They're both bigger guys. They use their strength and things like that. And the thing is, Sauce could use his hands and get away with it. You can use your hand. You can utilize your hands on a bigger receiver and get away with it. They're not going to call it as much because they're a bigger guy. They're a bigger guy, especially if y'all both using niggas. They're gonna let y'all fight. Like if y'all both big strong guys, they're just gonna let y'all fight. We're just gonna let y'all fight. Now, if it's something egregious, you know what I'm saying, we seeing jerseys getting yanked and stuff like that, then yeah, they're gonna pull the flag. You know what I'm saying? If it's something just egregious. But for the most part, if it's just straight hand fighting, they're gonna allow that. But see, the thing is with Tank, one of the best things about Tank is his route running, his footwork. He's very shifty. And him getting shifty, that was gonna tangle Sauce up. Him using his feet was gonna tangle Sauce up. And then what the Sauce do? Now your foot then got behind you. What you gotta do now? Now I gotta use my hands and pull on your jersey. I gotta utilize my hands to get back in the form and things like that. When you start doing that, the flags start coming. So either the receiver gonna get loose or the flag will come. Look at Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman, another big strong corner. Anytime he went up against guys like Keenan Allen or T.Y. Hilton or any smaller, shiftier guys. Obviously, Tyreek Hill. Any small, and I know Tyreek Hill will be different because how fast he is. But any smaller, sleeker, shiftier guys, they have problems with that. They have problems covering those guys. Those are the guys who they normally have problems with. They have problem and issues covering those guys because because once they use their feet and get away from them, now they gotta utilize their hands to try to keep it from. You know what I'm saying? Now they gotta try to utilize their hands to stop it from coming. They gotta try to utilize their hands and get back in position. And since they can't utilize their hands and get back in utilize their hands and get back in position, now what that does is now the referee is forced to pull out the flag, or they allow them to go, and we're talking about a big play for the receivers. So I do think that the person who I believe should be able to benefit is John Metchie for the Houston Texans. I feel like John Metchie is the guy who I feel like is the guy I feel like should be able to benefit. Obviously, benefit the tank is gone because now you have more reps and more opportunities. But I do think that if you get mismatched, you get able to get him on Sauce Gardner. Now we talking about something. Now, if we can get John Metchie on Sauce Gardner, because again, John Metchie, when he was in Alabama, not the year that Bryce won Heisman, but the year before when he had Matt Jones, he was the deep threat. He was the guy who was going deep, and we seen him go a little bit deep on that play on Sunday. Him and CJ just weren't able to connect. If they get their timing down, which I think they will, I think they probably worked this whole week, especially knowing that Tank is not going to be there. He worked this whole week because when he said that I forgot who it was, said they overheard him tell Nico, like, hey, this your room. I need you to take over this room. And this your room. I need you to take over this room right now because this is yours. I need you to take over it. But even still, sitting there taking over the room, he still needs to work on something with John Metchie because, again, he's a guy who we spent the second round draft pick, jumped up in the draft for it to get, played at Alabama. A lot of fans have been anticipating and waiting on John Metchie at the training camp. People saying the same thing like, "Hey, man, where's John Metchie? Where's John Metchie? Oh, why John Metchie's not practicing?" People wonder why John Metchie wasn't practicing when he was at the training camp. When I've been at the games, people say the same thing. Hey, man, why John Metchie not getting in the game? We seen him get in there for run blocking. Him and Hutchinson both. We've seen them both being there for blocking runs and things like that, especially when the pass protection wasn't as good, when we didn't have an offensive lineman. Once we got an offensive lineman, we all expected, we got an offensive lineman back. Tunsil, Titus, everybody's back. Juice, everybody's back. So now we don't have to do heavy formations. We don't have to do mass protection and things like that. Now we could take. Even though he's our best blocking receiver, now we can take him and put him on the outside. Now we can take him and put him in the slot. Now we can sit up here and run routes. We ain't got to just run reverses and jet sweeps and things like that. We can actually utilize him in the passing game. But we haven't so far. It's really been just a catch a game, a target a game, maybe 2-3 targets a game. Something very small like that. We haven't seen mass production. We haven't seen mass targets in his direction. We haven't. I think now that Tank is not going to be there for the remainder of the season, now it's his time to step up. We need him. We want him. I think he will step up. And this starts this game Sunday against the New York Jets. I understand it's going to be cold and it's raining. I understand that. But I do believe that he's the guy who we should watch out for because I think the way he utilizes, the way he's able to run, the way he's able to utilize his feet and things like that, be shifty. People are talking about using him in the slot, him being a slot receiver and things like that. You got to be shifty if you want to be a slot receiver. You got to be shifty. So I do think if we can I think if we get him on Sauce Gardner, I think those will be mismatches, honestly. I think we can get him on Sauce. Those right there would be the mismatches that we can exploit and maybe get some big plays. But the thing is, I do believe his route running hasn't been up to par, and that's the reason why. I think that's one of the reasons why we haven't really seen him in the game and seen him in the pass game just yet. That or catching or just not being chemistry and getting on target with CJ. I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel like that's the reason so far that we haven't seen them because we seen Noah Brown miss a couple games, miss a lot of games actually. We seen Tank Dell miss a game and a half before, miss half the Atlanta game and miss all the Saints game. We seen Nico miss a game. Dalton Schultz has missed games. We've seen other guys miss games, but we haven't utilized John Metchie in that form yet. We haven't utilized John Metchie in that form just yet. So, well, we haven't utilized him in that form just yet, and I wonder why. It has to be something. Has to be something. I don't know if like I said if it's route running, route combinations, not coming in the breaks clear, not being on the same page with the quarterback, or if it's just straight not catching the football in practice. I don't understand. Don't know what it is. Hopefully they have gotten that rectified this past week, and I feel like that's something that they can exploit. And that's something a matchup that I feel like they could a mismatch that they could probably match up with somebody like Sauce Gardner because they get Sauce to utilize his hands, get Sauce to utilize to start grabbing, let the flash start coming, get big chunk plays like that instead of just always getting the big plays like that. I think that's something you can do. We need Noah Brown to cook. I mean, this is my thing with Noah Brown. Noah Brown was a nice addition. Is a nice addition. I'm not putting all my eggs in Noah Brown's back. I'm not putting all my eggs in Noah Brown's basket. The reason why is because we see what he did, but I don't know. Kind of like kind of similar to like a flash in the pan. I know like they won the game against Tampa. He had a 75-yard touchdown. Which I mean, DB took the wrong gables. He was able to utilize sideline, not taking nothing away from Noah Brown, but he had a 75-yard play. That's part of the reason why he had like 150 yards that game. Because he had a 75-yard play. Not taking nothing away from having a 75 1-yard play, but he had a 75-yard play. So that utilized that. And I think some of that has to do with, again, I think I think the majority of his production has to do with CJ because he wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing that in Dallas. I thought Brown was ruled out. Only person I know for a fact that's ruled out is Dalton Schultz, and obviously Tank is out for the season. But Dalton Schultz, I think, is the only person I think it was ruled out of the game so far. I could be wrong. Texas needs to ground and pound Jets into submission. They also covered. See, this is the thing about I agree in a normal circumstance. I would agree, but our run offense and run blocking has been horrific. We can't run block. We can't run back block, and unless it's Devin Singletary, we can't run the football because Dameon Pierce is not running the football well. The only game that he kind of sort of ran well was the Pittsburgh game, but we haven't really ran well with Dameon Pierce. We've run well with Singletary twice in back-to-back weeks in hostile environments in key games. We run the football well. Actually, the game that he ran his best game this season was at Cincy, a game that you're fighting for playoff lives and playoff contention. That's another thing too. Well, there's nothing too when you talk about playoff contention. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost to last night to the New England Patriots. That now puts the Texans at the 7th seed. I'm sorry. Now if the Texans win, doesn't matter. The Texans win. The Texans if the Texans win, the Texans have their spot firmly in the playoffs, and it will continue. If the Texans lose, if the Texans do lose, they can still be in the playoffs. If I think the Colts lose, and I think the Bengals have to win. The Bengals playing the Colts. I'm sorry. The Colts lose, and I think the Browns have to win. I think that's have to be the case. Like the Colts lose and the Browns win. That way everybody doesn't have the same record. Everybody doesn't have the same record, and then the Texans will leapfrog Pittsburgh over a tiebreaker. And also I think you would need Buffalo to lose too. If I'm not mistaken, I think you need Buffalo to lose too. From it wouldn't affect Buffalo. Buffalo wouldn't leap in front of you, but you don't need Buffalo. You don't need all y'all teams to be tied with the same record because that's the situation why the Texans tiebreaker is irrelevant right now. Is because you got too many teams with the same record, and if Buffalo wins and you lose or Denver wins and things like that, and all y'all are snippet tied with the same record, then tiebreakers don't matter. Like head-to-head tiebreakers no longer matter if it's more than one. Head-to-head tiebreakers only matter if one team is like if it's two teams against each other. But if it's not, like I say, if it's three teams or more all tied with the same record, tiebreakers do not matter. They don't care about tiebreakers. They don't care about like head-to-head tiebreakers. They go by conference record and things like that. So it changes it makes everything just a little bit more muddy and a little bit more just make everything a little bit more muddy. But again, the Texans still in the prime position. Even if the Texans lose to the Jets, they're still in the prime position because Pittsburgh and the Colts play each other the following week, and the Texans still got to play the Browns. So the Texans still and the Texans got to play the Colts. So it still helps. I mean, the Texans are fine. Texans are fine either way it goes. The Texans are fine either way it goes. Not even from a mathematical standpoint, and from a controlling their own destiny standpoint. No matter what happens on Sunday. But you don't want to lose this game on Sunday. You don't want to lose this game. The reason why is because now the division is up. The division is up ahead. Like now the division is staring you right there in the face. Because if the Jags happen to lose to the Browns going into Cleveland with the backup quarterback in Cleveland, if they lose, and then the following week, they have to play against the Baltimore Ravens, with or without Trevor Lawrence. If they lose that game too, they have now not only lost, they not only not will be leading the division, they have lost control of the division. And then the control of the division belongs back to the Texans and the Colts, as long as they keep winning. Because as it stands right now, the Jags are a game ahead of both the Texans and the Colts. The Jags are 8-4. The Texans and the Colts are both 7-5. Now the Texans and the Jags have split, so there's no tiebreaker there. The Colts the Jags have the tiebreaker over the Colts because they swept them. So and then also the Texans have already lost 2 divisional games, while the Jags have only lost 1. So the Jags will actually have the tiebreaker from a divisional record standpoint as well, no matter what. So no matter what happens in the season, the Jags have the tiebreaker over both the Texans and the Colts. So what they have to do is they have to have a better record. They're a game back. If the Texans and the Colts win on Sunday and the Jags lose, they are now have the same exact record. They'll both be 8-5. All three of them will be 8-5. All three will be 8-5. And then the following week, if the Texans and the Colts keep winning, and the Jags slip up against the Ravens, the Texans and the Colts will be 9-5, and the Jags will be 8-6, which means they can't control their destiny. They would need one of the Texans or the Colts to lose, because the last game of the season is the Texans playing against the Colts, which means if they go into their last game of the season down, or if they go in the last game of the season and the Texans and the Colts have a game ahead of the Jags, there's no way for the Jags to catch them, because even if the Jags win, the Texans and the Colts are playing against each other. One team is going to win, I guess, unless they tie. But still, even if they would tie, they would be behind in the loss column. The Jags will be behind in the loss column, and I guess the Colts will win the division because the Colts have already beaten the Texans. So yeah, actually that's what happened. So the Texans will have to beat the Colts, because even if the Texans tie, the Texans wouldn't win the division. The Colts will win the division because the Texans have already beaten the Colts head to head in week 2. So again, that's how important that game was. For people who act like the game wasn't important, it's very important. So that's the situation that goes upon. So a lot of, and again, that's putting the cart in front of the horse. Like that's putting the cart, because we haven't got to that standpoint just yet. We haven't got to that standpoint. We still got to take care of business Sunday against the Jets. Like I said, it's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy. And you gotta find a way to muster. You're gonna be without Tank Dell. You gotta find a way to get through, and you gotta find a way to win that football game against, to be honest, a team that most people feel an inferior team. Again, the Texans are favored by 5.5 points. The Texans are a 5.5 point favorite. People see the Texans as the favorite and see them as a better team. And the Jets are struggling offensively. Like that's really the thing about it. The Jets are like the Jets. If this is a low this game, especially with the weather being the way it is, this fits the Jets. This is a perfect situation for the Jets. For like the way it's setting up perfectly for the Jets because the Jets couldn't be in no perfect weather conditions where the Texans can drop back and air it out. Because even I don't care that the Jets have the third best passing defense in the NFL. If the Texans can sit back and air it out, and sit back and air it out, again, I think the Texans will extremely have the advantage. You kind of somewhat even the playing field with the bad weather because okay, now we gotta take the ball really out of CJ's hand, out of the receiver's hands, and put it in these running backs' hands and allow them to do some damage. Allow them to do something. That's what we gotta allow them to do some damage and allow them to do something in the running game because the Jets need to keep this game low scoring. If we getting past because they only averaging 14.3, they only averaging 2 possessions. Two touchdowns a game. That's what they average, 2 touchdowns a game. If you can get this to 23, 24, 27, 28 points, the Jets is not coming back. The Jets ain't doing nothing in this game. So you gotta put the pressure on them. You gotta put points on the board. You gotta score. You gotta score and put points on the board because once you put points on the board, like the Jets are right because this game is a low scoring game, low points, low positions. That's gonna help out the Jets. It really is. That's what the Jets are fishing for. That's what the Jets are hoping for. They're hoping for a low scoring game. Jets are not coming back from 1 touchdown. So whoever scored first wins. Dang. Just have not scored 2 TDs on offense since Kansas City. They haven't scored 2 touchdowns since Kansas City. What week was that? What week was that? It was good, Joshua. But yeah, what week was that when they played KC? What receiver I wanted the Texans to draft in the first round? Keon Coleman or Rome out of Washington. Those are probably my number. Those are my 2 top outside of Marvin Harrison, obviously. But I don't think we have any opportunity to draft Marvin Harrison. So besides Marvin Harrison, Keon Coleman and Rome out of Washington. Malik Davis is up there too, though. But I mean, I think, like I said, the Texans actually in prime position when it comes to a receiver. What's good? I appreciate you, man. You see me watching my channel for a minute. Hey, I'm gonna keep up the coverage, man. Mr. Steve O, I'm gonna keep up the coverage, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. Appreciate you watching the channel. If you watching it, make sure you hit that like button because more people have jumped in here, but the likes ain't going up. Make sure you hit that like button now. Come on now. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. The Jets have the Browns, Ravens, Bucks, Panthers, and Titans. Is that the remaining schedule? If that is, it's kind of weird. Y'all got a whole bunch of games. If that is y'all remaining schedule. Y'all got a whole bunch of games. Neighbors would definitely be a nice pick. Oh yeah. You don't like Worthy? No, Worthy cool. I like Worthy. I think Worthy would add a very, very special dynamic with his speed. And that's something I definitely think that we need. Like I definitely think that we could utilize Xavier Worthy. Utilize his speed for sure. Like I definitely think that you could utilize Xavier Worthy's speed. Like most definitely. I most definitely think you can utilize his speed. Like that's a no-brainer. That's something you definitely can utilize and incorporate into the offense and utilize and score and put up points. I definitely feel like that. You know, I definitely think that you could incorporate and utilize his offense and things like that. Like that opens up the playbook. That opens up the ground game, honestly, because now safeties and linebackers they're coming back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They're not all up on the line of scrimmage no more. They're not playing in the box and hovering around the box. They're dropping back a little bit because, well, not a little bit, a lot of it, especially the safeties because they're not trying to get beat over the head. They're not trying to get beat deep. They're not trying to get beat deep. See, they're going to be trying to go back. They're not trying to get beat deep, and they're trying to play back to make sure that the football's not going over their head. Simple as that. Simple as that. So they're definitely will definitely be a nice addition to the offense. I just think that I still don't think he's the number one receiver. Now, I think Xavier Worthy is more of a compliment. I don't think he's a number one receiver. I think he's more of a compliment. So I think that feels like okay. Because that's a question that Honcho's been asking a lot on the stream this past week. Is Nico a number one receiver? As I stand it right now, I don't think he is. Like I said, like I told y'all last night on Honcho's show. And I said shout out to everybody at Soft Sports. Make sure y'all be in tune. I don't believe, as it stands right now, that he is. I know he has I know he has like top 10 numbers. I don't think he's a top 10 receiver, not yet. Now, could he possibly be? Man, the way CJ is giving him the football, I do think he could definitely come into that and grow into that. But I don't think he's there yet, and I do think he has a lot of stuff to clean up. Is being more consistent. Able to score and put up points outside of NRG because all his 100-yard games are in our NRG. All his touchdowns are at NRG. He has 6 touchdowns. All 6 touchdowns are in Houston. He has 4 games over 100 yards. All of them are Houston. Against the Colts, against Pittsburgh, against the Jags, in this past week. He only has 4 games over 100 yards. Now, they all been massive. Outside of the Jazz game, well, I think he had like 101 or 104 or something like that. They all been massive. Like, he's like had 150-yard game, 160-yard game. Last week had 191. Like, they've all been massive 100-yard games. But they've only his 400-yard games have been in Houston. His 6 touchdowns have been in Houston. Outside Houston, he hasn't done anything. When we on the road, he doesn't do anything. He has not done anything on the road at all. He has not done anything on the road from scoring points or putting up yards. Hasn't done anything on the road. And also another thing too is, like I said, he got to be up there and be a go-getter, man. Like there's some touchdowns he left on the board. Like one against Tampa, one against I know one against Tampa for sure. Oh, one against Arizona. Yeah. Because right before CJ threw his second pick, CJ floats CJ throws both that one and the Tampa one. He throws and floats the football up in the back of the corner end zone, and he's sitting there falling. Nico's sitting there falling back, catching it and going out of bounds instead of going up and trying to play. Instead of catching the ball at his high point, catching the 50-50 ball at his high point, he's sitting there coming back with the ball. See, Hop was going to jump up and try to catch the ball. Even Jalen Strong, same thing with Jalen Strong. Jalen Strong was jumping up trying to catch the football. Andre jumping up trying to catch the football. Nico was falling with the football. Like the football's arcing down, he's falling down with the arc and letting it come to him instead of going up there and get it. And because of that, when he lets the football come to him and he's falling with the football, he lets his body drift and he goes out of bounds instead of jumping up and attacking the football and coming down inbounds, you got some touchdowns on your head. And now instead of having 6 touchdowns, we're talking about 8 touchdowns. We probably talking about, well, not probably because he's only 9 yards away. We're talking about 1,000-yard receiver already. We're talking about a guy with 8 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards in whatever week this is, with 5 games left to go. We're talking about a guy breaking Texan records because the touchdown record is 13 by Hopkins in 2017? Yeah, 2017 touchdown record by Texans Hopkins. Yards is 1598 or 1599 by Dre in 2012. It's either 1598 or 1599. It's almost 1600. catches. Hop got the catches too, because Hop broke Dre's record. I think catches like 115, 116. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what year. Maybe two. It might be the same. It might be the same year that Hop got the touchdowns. It might be. It's either 2017 or it's 20 the year before, not the year before, or 2 years before 2015. It's either 2015 or 2017. How got the most catches in franchise history? And like it's like I said, like 115 or something like that. 115. No, I think it's 121. Yeah, it's 121. That's exactly what it is. Because Dre's was 120, and Hop got 121. He got one more catch. And I said it's either 2017 or 2015. I'm not 100% sure, but I know Hop's got it. Like we could be talking about something like that. I need to see exactly what his catches is. And I think he's probably far from the catches because a lot of plays that we've had a lot of like chunk plays and big plays. We like lead the NFL in big plays. So it's something like that. So the catches is gonna be something different. But the yards and the touchdowns, that's definitely something that he could have been on pace to actually be breaking. I said 5 games left to go. He already had 1,000 yards and already had 8 touchdowns. If he would have attacked the football instead of floating back with the football. Those things, the little small things like that, is the reason why I can't put him at being a top 10 receiver. But if you feel like he's going to make those to Cam, or has made by the time has made those steps, then Xavier Worthy would definitely be a great addition. But I feel like Rome, Neighbors, Keon Coleman, I feel like those guys step in day one are already going to be the number one receiver on the team. Honestly, that's what I feel like. To expose this defense. Yeah, I mean, but it goes both ways. I'm pretty sure they both know how. And I agree with you saying that's really why I didn't bring that up because I think they kind of cancel each other out. I mean, I think they both know what each other wants to do for the most part. Again, it's not going to be like 100% same because Salah has changed or has seen things and felt things differently since he's been in New York for the last 3 years. He's been in New York, and Miko, the 2 years after Salah's left, he's seen Salah did like this, but I want to do it like this. And then also what he's seen and done this year as the head coach. So I think they both have enough intel on each other. And they also have some other tricks in their bag, things that they've grown or stopped doing or whatever since they've been on their own and not been around each other. To make it, you know what I'm saying, able to exploit something that the opposing guy doesn't know. Who knows? They might actually find the same secrets. Who knows? But things like that. So I think they both have the leg up on each other, but because of that, I think they cancel each other out. Honestly, it cancels out. So I think they both know offense. The only thing is now the Texans have a better offense, and the Texans have a way better offensive player. Yeah, have a way better offensive player than CJ, and because of that, they have a better offensive player. Maybe you can exploit and you can do some other things because of that. Because I can exploit what he want to do a little bit better. He could probably exploit what I want to do because I got the better quarterback. I got the better whatever. But I mean, we'll see. When it comes to the Jets, it all depends on how Zach Wilson plays. Does Zach Wilson not turn the football over? Can Zach Wilson drive the Jets up and down the field? Can Zach Wilson put points on the board? That's really what. Can Zach not turn the football over, and can Zach put points on the board? Simple. That's what the Jets need. The Jets need Zach to not need either. He needs both. Needs him to put points on the board and put points on the board, and also needs these points on the board, and also needs to be able to not turn the football over. If he can not turn the football over and put points on the board, then hey, maybe the Jets can do something. But if he's turning the football over and obviously not putting points on the board, it's going to be hard for the Jets to win. It's going to be hard for the Jets to win. Hey, shout out to Only Erica. Only Erica. That's what I say. Only Erica. Shout out to Only Erica for the Super Chat love. It's the lighting for me. I appreciate Super Chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Thank you for Super Chat love on the Erica. Yeah, what y'all think about the lights? I ain't get I ain't talking about. I know I was trying something different in the in my last video. Some people said they like it. So hey, if you like it, hey man, send a thumbs up. If you feeling the lights, let me know. Give us some feedback. If you like the lights, send me a thumbs up. If you ain't feeling it, hey, send me a thumbs. Hey, all criticism is cool. If you don't like it, you can send me a thumbs down. Like nah, man, hey, get rid of the lights. But if you like the lights, man, send a thumbs up. Definitely appreciate that. Hey, I see somebody else say they like the lights already. I definitely appreciate that. Just need a Texan flag, or a Magic flag, Interesting. How about the Magic? The Magic bounced back and got my dub after the got my dub tonight outside of they lost the other day, but yeah, they bounced back and got a dub tonight. So hey, I mean, was looking like the best team in the Eastern Conference. Still feel like the best team in the Eastern Conference. I mean, just fell on rough times, fell on some bad games, but hey, it is what it is. Please no Magic flags. No, why can't I get a Magic flag? but Chris TV said a whole bunch of thumbs up. A whole bunch of them. Appreciate all that. Pistons are a D League team, but man, Paulo looks good. Yeah, oh man, yeah, Pop. Like the other night, how he put up 42, even though it was a loss. But yeah, I mean, I understand Detroit's not good. It's not a good basketball team right now. Definitely understand that. But hey, you gotta take care of business. That's the thing. You have to take care of business. I think last time I checked, I think they was up by like 20, almost 30 points. You gotta take care of business against those bad teams, though. You can't lose. Pistons on 19-game losing streak. Yeah, yeah, you're right. The blue and the red. You know what I'm saying? Deep steel. You know what I'm saying? Deep steel blue, battle red. You know what I'm saying? Definitely Texas. Give it a little, because last one I had was all blue. Give it a little bit more feel. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more Texans vibe. You know what I'm saying? Because blue, red, deep steel blue, battle red. Get a little bit more Texan vibe. So that's why I say, hey, I'm getting a lot of good feedback. So a lot of people tell me y'all like it. Say, hey, like it. Like I said, hit the thumbs up. If you ain't really feeling it, hit the thumbs down. But also, hit the like button up. I see more people than jumped in, but the likes ain't going up. Make sure you hit the like button when you come through here. Definitely make sure you hit the like button when you come through here. But like I was saying though, when it comes to that, when it comes to like the Texans got find a way to exploit that, and got find a way to make Zach Wilson feel uncomfortable, to confuse Zach Wilson. I need Stingley to go out there and confuse Zach Wilson. I need D'Amico to go out there and make Zach Wilson be confused. I need Willie Anderson and I need Jonathan Gennard to make Zach Wilson feel uncomfortable. I need him to be uncomfortable. He already didn't want to play. Like from that's what everybody was saying, that he didn't want to play, that he felt some type of way because he got benched. Man, if that's not some of the most weak, I ain't gonna lie to you. If that ain't the most weakest stuff, let's talk about that. Let's get. I ain't got a chance to air out how I felt and put out there what I thought about that, because let's be completely honest, bro. That was weak. That's like one of the most weakest things ever. That's one of the most weakest things ever. Bro, you talking about you? That's not that Deshaun talking about. I don't want to play, but at least Deshaun was good. At least Deshaun was good, and at least Deshaun was good. Like, okay, I ain't gotta play. I'm too good to play. I could, I'll respect that. But hey, at least that's more better than I don't want to play because you benched me. Hey, that's weak, bro. You're not a good football player. You're not a good football player. So what? You got benched. Go out there and play. Go out there and show that we made the wrong move. Prove the Jets wrong for going out there and putting in Tim Boyle, whatever his name is. Going out there and signing Aaron Rodgers, who only lasted 4 plays. That's what you go out there and do. You prove the organization the fan base, people like me wrong. They say you're trash. You go out there, you prove us wrong. Don't go out there and be weak and be like, I'm not playing no more. I don't want to play. They benched me. They put in the third string guy and played him over me. I'm not playing. Then they took me from being the backup and the starter to not even active on game day. I'm not doing that no more. No. I got a career to look at. I'm going to be a free agent. I don't want to risk injury. No. Don't nobody want you, Zach Wilson. Like, no, nobody wants you. Come on, bro. You only reason why you got drafted was because of Patrick Mahomes. And people was out there trying to find the next Patrick Mahomes. That's the only reason why people even drafted you, bro. That's it. Like that's the only reason why you were drafted number 2 overall, because people were trying to find the next Patrick Mahomes. And they thought that you was Patrick Mahomes because you could side on throw. Now, I ain't gonna lie. When I watched this tape at BYU, it was some plays where Zach was zip that thing up in the Zach go zoop. It was one play where he was drifting back and he had a side-on throw and he split through 2 linebackers. It was 2 linebackers right here. He split the football right through them 2 linebackers into, I think it was a tight end for a first down. That I'm like, and then when I seen that, I jumped out my seat. I said, "Oh snap! Oh man! What? 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 I went, hold on, man, hold up." But it wasn't consistent on the tape. When you watch more tape, it wasn't consistent. But he had some throws. Well, like I said, it make you jump up and get up out your seat. You had some throws that make you jump up and get up out your seat. Because you were excited. Like, oh, man. And you can see scouts and general managers start to drool and foam at the mouth because, okay, he has the arm talent. But it wasn't consistent. And just because you can make a sidearm throw don't make you a good quarterback. Just like because you can shoot from the logo don't make you a good basketball player. Just because somebody can pull up from the logo and bust a 3, boom, don't mean they're a good basketball player. Just because you can shoot. Just like don't mean just because you can tomahawk dunk, just bah, don't mean you're a good basketball player. You can just dunk real good. Right? Like that's what that means. Like that's what that means. Just because you do that don't mean that you're a good basketball player. Just because you can side on throw don't make you a good football player. It just doesn't. But the thing is, don't sit up here and after you've been given this opportunity, I'm not even saying squander it, but then just not show up. Just not show up. And say you don't want to play? Bro, that's weak. Bro, that's weak. I'm sorry. That's weak. That's weak. You got to go out there and play. Go out there and prove yourself. Now, I understand it's going to be cold, it's going to be raining, but you at home. You at home. You at home. It's going to be cold, it's going to be raining. You coming in as a 5.5 point underdog. But see, this is the type of game that you got. This is the type of game that you got to go out there and try to prove yourself. And for the Texans, the same thing. This is a team you have to beat. Now, when it comes to playoffs and standings and things like that, it's not a must win. You don't have to have the game. You could lose the game and still make the playoffs. You can still lose the game and control your destiny. But you need this game if you want the division. If you still want to get a division, you need this game. If you want to be the team that you claim that you are, you got to win this game. Because this, let's be honest, all Texas fans, let's be honest now. Let's be honest. Let's keep it up on the real. Let's keep it up on the real now. Let's keep it straight up and down the real. This is the type of game that the Texans, like the Texans, they drop. And we've already seen this earlier this year against the Carolina Panthers. No excuse to lose that game. 0-16, coming off a bye, had 2 weeks to prepare. Team that jumped you in the draft to get a quarterback, however you feel about whatever quarterback, they jumped you. C.J. Stroud should feel slated because they picked Bryce over him. C.J. Stroud should feel some type of way because people have been talking about Bryce Young throughout basically their whole careers of high school to college football to even to the NFL. And you came out there and you laid a huge giant goose egg. You played extremely bad. Your defense left a drive in the end and allowed Bryce Young to get his first career win and career game-winning drive. CJ, I think he only had like 150 some yards, no touchdowns, like just uncharacteristic. Just a bad shell of a game. And like I said, once we lost to the Panthers, I'm like, we could lose to anybody on schedule. We could lose to any game on schedule. Anybody left on schedule, we could lose to. Because that Panthers team is the worst team on our schedule. That 0-6 Panthers team is worse than any team on schedule. Now, going into the season, you might have thought that, maybe it was the Cardinals or, possibly the Broncos. Or I don't know, I can't think of nobody else. The schedule wasn't really all that bad. But after the season had started to come on before the Panthers game, this is the worst team on schedule. And then once we played them and after we watched everybody else, still, worst team on schedule. Worst team on schedule. It's not even close, honestly. It's worst team on schedule is not even close. But this is the type of stuff that the Texans, you know what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff the Texans kind of kind of fall themselves into. Honestly. This is the type of stuff that the Texans kind of fall themselves into a little bit. If you want to be honest, you want to be for real. This is the kind of stuff they kind of fall themselves up into real quick. Because they allow, like, Desmond Ridder. You gave him his career high passing game. And then got benched 2 weeks later. You gave, his first ever win. You gave Trevor Lawrence his career passing day. Most passing yards he's been thrown for in the game. The Texans allow quarterbacks, to have career games against them. I don't know what Bryce's numbers were. I don't know if Bryce outthrew CJ or not. I don't remember. But I know Desmond Ridder threw for over 300 yards, and that was his first 300-yard game performance. And I know Trevor Lawrence had a career high. So you can't allow Zach Wilson to come out there on Sunday in any capacity, win, lose, or draw, to have a career game against you. You don't want that to happen. This is a bad precedent. That's what the Steelers are doing now. They lost to two back-to-back teams under 500, only won 2 games. I think with both teams coming to the situation, either only one game or only won 2 games, and they lost in back-to-back weeks and at home. You don't want to set that precedent. That's a precedent that they're starting to set. You don't want that. You don't want that you constantly giving quarterbacks their career game against you. You don't want that. You don't want that. That's not something that you want to sit back and constantly have, man. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Not at all. You don't want to do that, not at all. Hey, man, we only 1 penny away, 1 cent, 1 penny away from $5 on Super Chat. So if you don't so mankind, then go ahead and donate that one little penny. 1 penny. Penny Hardaway. A penny Hardaway. A penny Hardaway. 1 penny on the Super Chat to get up to $5. If you don't mind, if you don't want to be so kind. 1 penny. 1 penny away from being $5 on Super Chat, if you don't mind. But like I was saying though, like you gotta do better. You can't allow that to happen. You can't sit up here and allow that to be the case. You just can't. You obviously can't. What's the deal? What's the deal, Darren? What's the deal, bro? What's good with you? You can't allow that to be the case. You can't go out there and you can't you can't go out there and you can't allow Zach Wilson or any other quarterback, especially bad quarterbacks, come out there and have career days against you. It's gonna be unacceptable. It's gonna be unacceptable. gonna be completely unacceptable. But you know what? We talked a lot today, and have yet to talk about like I said, like the pass rush. Will Anderson, Jonathan Gennard. Like Will Anderson finally had his career day. We talked about Stingley having his. Will Anderson having his career day, and I need him to get more pressure. I need him to continuously prove that he's a game record. This is gonna be the type of game. It's gonna be slippery. It's gonna be wet. It's gonna be rainy. This is the game where you start getting some forced fumbles. Cause I don't think Will Anderson has. I know he had fumble recovery that he didn't pick that he picked up and actually scored a touchdown. They didn't count it against. Who was it against? Was it against the Steelers? Was it against the Cardinals? Who was that? What game was that? Was it against the Cardinals? What game was that? Will Anderson had a touchdown that they didn't count. I forgot what it was. There was a touchdown that Will Anderson didn't count. Still a game. That's what it was. Okay, I remember it was a game. But yeah, you got come on, man. Come on now. Come on. Speaking of games, hey, if you don't know, I'm gonna let y'all know already. If you don't know, Saw Sports gonna be in the building December 31st versus the Tennessee Titans, the last regular season home game. Sauce, we gonna be in the building. Me, Honcho, Wise, Hector, Tenny, and some more. I think Swisher gonna be there too. Even some more people, the people from the Discord gonna be there. We gonna be there. It's going down. You already know what it is. It's gonna go down. It's gonna go down at the round. You already know what it is. So make sure y'all be at the building. Hey, CJ been calling for us to be at the building, and it's been unacceptable, honestly. The amount of people that have not been at the games. When you see those crowds, I seen JJ was kind of disgusted and upset after the Jazz game when he seen the amount of people that weren't really at the game on Sunday versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, yeah, I was too. I was upset too because of like, hey man, this is a very, very important game, not only for the playoffs but for the division, just for the season. It's one of the most important games in franchise history, home game rather. And we should be up in here sold out, showing out, being loud and crazy. And it was loud. Oh, it was loud at NRG, but it wasn't packed. It wasn't packed. It wasn't 70,000. It wasn't 60,000. It wasn't 55,000. It wasn't 50,000. I don't even think it was 40,000. It might have been around like 30-something, maybe 30-some thousand. Honestly, we're gonna be keeping it a buck, like 35,000. Honestly, it wasn't even half. If you want to be completely honest, it wasn't. It was ridiculous, especially the upper levels. It was ridiculous. So we definitely gotta be better. And then this last game against the Broncos, it was a shit ton of Bronco fans. I seen a whole bunch of orange, like a whole bunch of orange up in there. Way too much orange, honestly. So I know Cortland from Brenham, but dang, like they were sold out like that. Like come on, man. Like come on. We got to do better. We got to do better, y'all. We gotta do better. We gotta do better, y'all. We got to do better. We gotta do better. So hey, like I said, Saw Sports, we gonna be in the building. Round table, we gonna be in the building. You know, I'm gonna be live after the game. I don't know. I gotta talk to Huncho. We going live before the game, even though we gonna be at the game. But I'm gonna be live after the game. So live reaction at NRG after the game against the Tennessee Titans. Make sure y'all be there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, who knows? Who knows? You might even make the live. You might even make the live. If you at the game, holler at me. You might even make the live stream after the game if you're gonna be at the game. So make sure y'all pull up at the game against the Tennessee Titans, man. Make sure y'all pull up. Get your tickets now. Make sure y'all pull up. We gotta stand packed because hey, gotta come through for CJ in Houston, Texas, man. Definitely gotta come through. But yeah, but Will Anderson and this pass rush, I feel like this could definitely be a game where Will Anderson could definitely make some noise, definitely get some pressures, some QB hits, some sacks, some forced fumbles, some turnovers. Force Zach Wilson to turn the football over. Force Zach Wilson to make bad decisions. Force Zach Wilson to run around and get knocked down and lose the football, and you able to make plays in that type of weather. And your defense steps up and you punish the Jets and their offense. That's how you win this game in this bad weather. You make sure that you like. Normally, I want our offense go out there and throw. We're gonna need we're gonna have to have our defense show up because of the weather conditions and to take a lot of pressure off of CJ in the offense in this game. So I need Williams and Jonathan Gennard to play well because I haven't really talked that much about CJ. CJ leads the league in passing. CJ's second in Pro Bowl voting. By the time it's all said and done, I do think he probably will be number one in Pro Bowl voting. I guess that'd be his consolation prize for not winning MVP because I mean they find every excuse in the book to give MVP to somebody else. Honestly, they find it. Oh, he's a rookie. Oh, his record. They bring up record, but yet they throw up Josh Allen, who has a worse record than us. Josh Allen has a worse record than us. And Josh Allen leads the league in interceptions. But yet, Josh Allen is top 5, I think he's 5th, in MVP voting. Patrick Mahomes has one more win than the Texans. Has less yards than CJ because CJ leads the league in yards. Has only 2 more touchdowns than CJ. He has 22. CJ has 20. Has 10 interceptions. CJ only has 5. A 1-game difference. And Mahomes is over in the MVP conversation because his name is Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, and Lamar Jackson. Those guys are in because they team records. We're talking about the best teams in football. Talking about the best teams in football. Two of the best teams in their conference in NFC. But Brock Purdy, when his weapons are not there, doesn't do anything. So I don't understand how you, the one that's MVP, if you need your weapons to win the MVP. Because when your weapons are not there, you lose 3 straight games, and your passing percentage, your yards, your touchdowns go up, go down, your interceptions go up. You lose games, don't win games, and then when those pieces come back, now you're back balling again. What about that speaks MVP? That means that you're dependent. So if you're dependent, how are you valuable? So is it MVP or NDP? Most dependable player. It depends. What is it? MVP or NDP? What is it? And then Jalen Hurts and what you call Lamar Jackson both have the same amount of touchdowns as interceptions or turnovers. They both turn the ball over as much as they put points on the board. Now their teams are winning because they got good teams around them, but are we just giving it to them because they record? Like what we doing? When you got somebody like Dak, who has a decent record, top 5 in yards, leads the NFL in touchdowns, only has 4 interceptions. As it stands right now, to me personally, I think it's CJ and it's Dak when it comes to the MVP conversation. If you want to bring record into it, I guess I see how you can lean Dak, but I think it's those 2 guys. But I think nobody's playing quarterback better this season, 2023 season. No one's playing the quarterback position better than C.J. Stroud and Dak Prescott. Coleridge Bernard Stroud, the 4th. Rain Dakota Prescott. Those are the guys who are playing quarterback the best in the NFL this season. They don't want to say one because he's a Cowboy. They don't want to say the other because he's a rookie. Let's call it is what it is. But the state of Texas, 2 quarterbacks are playing the position better than anybody else in the NFL this season. Patrick Mahomes is my boy. But Patrick Mahomes is not playing like Patrick Mahomes. Now, I know he has a lot of drop passes and things like that. And I get he doesn't have the same weaponry. I understand that. But still, we don't give those type of excuses. Either you're playing well or you're not. Because he is turning the football over. And he's not getting away with the stuff he normally gets away with. So you're talking about Pat because he's on basic Pat off a name. Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy just because their teams are winning. But you're not watching the games. And like I say, a lot of people, bro, don't be watching games. They get on TV and y'all listen to them every single week. And every single day, rather. And they don't watch games. They just get numbers in front of them. They see scores. They see stats. And they tell you based off of that. Because they know what? Y'all not watching either. Because what you doing? You too busy wrapped up in either your team or your fantasy's team. And you're not watching those other teams play by play. Game by game. You're not. Unless it's a prime time game. Unless they playing your team. But for the most part, people are really genuinely watching their team. Then when they team game go off, they might watch the other team if they got a fantasy game going. But then they might do something else. There might be a little time to go get them something to eat or whatever it is they got to do, or run or talk to the people who they fans with, and they talk about their team. And then they watch the Sunday night game that night. Then they watch the Monday night game the next night. And they watch the Thursday night game on Thursday. That's really pretty much it. And the cycle rinses and repeats. And it's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes be balling. I know what he's doing the playoffs. I know what he's been doing. Patrick Mahomes. This Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes ain't having it this season. Josh Allen. The Bills are 6-6. And they play the Chiefs this week. And then the following week, they play the Cowboys. Chiefs might fool around and be 6-8 in 2 weeks. Like, let that sink in. We up here talking about Josh Allen, the MVP, or should be in the MVP conversation. But they might be 6-8 in 2 weeks. Might be 6-8 in 2 weeks. When CJ Stroud is a game behind the damn division. Come on, man. Took a team that only won 3 games last year. 4 the year before that. Already got them on 7 wins. And we can't talk about him in the MVP conversation because he's a rookie? That's bullshit. Come on, man. That's bull. That's bull. He's a rookie. Rookies don't win MVP. That's dumb. Come on, man. Know why rookies don't win MVP? You want to know why? Because rookies ain't never been in this position before, bruh. Come on. Let me know a rookie that did this, that, there. Come on. Let me know. Come on, tell me. What you going to tell me? Andrew Luck, because they went to the playoffs after winning 2 games. RG3, they went to the playoffs after having the 3rd pick of the draft. Even though they jumped up to get the 3rd pick of the draft, but they had the 3rd pick of the draft. Those 2 guys, okay, I'll listen to those. Honestly, I will. But you know what, Andrew Luck, I think Andrew Luck had a lot of turnovers too, if I'm not mistaken. Like Andrew Luck had a decent amount of interceptions his rookie year. And RG3, I think RG3 either barely threw for 3,000 yards or didn't even throw for 3,000 yards, but he did have a good year rushing, had rushing touchdowns and stuff like that. So CJ Stroud leads the league in passing. I think he's 7th in touchdowns, tied for 7th. Him, Herbert, and somebody else are all tied for 7th or 8th in touchdowns with 20. And only has 5 interceptions. I think interception touchdown ratio, I think he's second behind Dak. And the team is winning. Let me know a rookie that's done that. Let me know a rookie's done that. Let me know a rookie quarterback that's done that. That's why I ain't never had him before. It's never been that type of situation before, bro. Ain't never been in that situation before. Ain't never been in that situation before. Ain't never been in that situation before. So it is what it is, man. It really is what it is. But he has an opportunity on Sunday to stake his case and put up the possibly get a chance and opportunity to get an MVP, put seventh position. I do think for him to win the MVP, he does need to win the division. Like we would need and I think we would need to win out to win the division. So we would need some help from the Browns this week and from the Ravens next week to get CJ into the MVP conversation. CJ continuously play the way he playing, then I do think that you have to force them. They can't ignore it. So, because he don't play for 5,000 yards, y'all. Like, let him throw for 5,000. Let him throw, as a rookie, come out the gate, throw for 5K. AFC South champions. And throw another 30 touchdowns. Because he is at 20 with 5 games left. He averages 2 touchdowns a game over the next 5. We're talking about 30 touchdowns. So we're talking about 5,000 and 30. Talking about 5K and 30. As a rookie and win the division, and say he only has like 5 interceptions. How he not MVP? How he not? I not, man. Hey, man, appreciate everybody that came through here. Sorry I came on a little bit late, but appreciate everybody that came through. If you ain't hit the like button, make sure you hit that like button right now. And shout out to everybody hit the super chat. Definitely appreciate that for the super chat love. Definitely appreciate that for the super chat love. Like I said, hit that like button. We'll be going live after the game. My boy Honcho should be doing the pregame show before, so check out Soft Sports before the game. And then after the game, to do the game breakdown, the recap, the post game, right here on your boys' channel, immediately following the game versus the Jets. Also, we're going to have a playoff outlook video, a live stream on Wednesday, same time, 8:15. And then we know we do this every single Friday when we preview the following game. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for all those videos. Not to mention other videos sprinkled out throughout the week and stuff like that. There's always going to be videos and stuff like that sprinkled out through the week. So make sure that y'all be on the lookout for that. So make sure, but the main thing is the main thing. Make sure y'all pull up on Sunday. How about that? Make sure y'all pull up on Sunday after the game. Pull up on the live stream on Sunday. Make sure y'all pull up on Sunday after the game. You know what I'm saying? Keep the main thing the main thing. Make sure y'all pull up after the game on Sunday for the live stream, post game, pre-game on Soft Sports on Sunday before the game, after the game immediately following after the game. Make sure y'all pull up for the live stream right after the game so we can talk about, we can break it all the way down and discuss exactly what happened versus Houston Texans and the Jets. Like I said before, make sure you hit that like button. If you hit that like button, definitely appreciate everybody that came through. Make sure you subscribe if you ain't subscribed. We're still in the race to 6,000 subscribers. You know what that means. Need you to tell a friend, and tell another friend, so they can tell a friend, so they can tell friends, they can tell some more friends, and put them on game with the channel, man. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. I need y'all help. I can't do this without y'all, so I need you to tell a friend, tell another friend, so they can tell some more friends, so they can tell some friends, and put them on game with the channel. Definitely appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that. Let's get this channel up to 6,000 subscribers. Got a whole bunch of stuff planned, but I need y'all help to get that stuff done. I need y'all help. So I need you to like. I need you to share. I need you to subscribe. I got people tell me all the time, hey, man, I put my cousin on your channel, man. I put my daddy on your channel, man. I put my coworker on your channel. Appreciate all the love. Put my classmate on your channel. Appreciate all the love. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Definitely appreciate that. Y'all know how much I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. I'm trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. I got something planned for that. And then once I get to that 6K, I got something even bigger planned for that, but I need y'all help to get to these milestones. So definitely appreciate the love, man. Like I said, hit that like button if you ain't hit it already. Hit that subscribe button if you ain't hit that hit it already if you ain't subscribed. And also, if you ain't got a chance, go check out my last video breaking down what Willie Anderson did. And also check out my last video, the video before that rather, breaking down what Stingley did as well. So make sure y'all watch the videos if y'all haven't got a chance to watch them. Hey, if you haven't got a chance to watch them, rewatch them, refresh your memory. It's all good though. But like, share, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. Holla.